Story 1. The Suicide Due to Addiction. This tragic story starts in Japan in late 2011. A young man named Toyoshi, in his 20s, was well known among his friends for his passion for video games. However, his obsession with a particular game, Final Fantasy XIV, became an addiction. It was a massive multiplayer online game that required long hours of continuous play, which slowly took over Toyoshi's life. One fateful night, Toyoshi decided to participate in an important in-game event, one that demanded over 48 hours of non-stop gaming. He was determined to finish the event and achieve an extraordinary accomplishment. However, when he finally reached the event's peak and achieved what he thought was his greatest victory in the game, something within him broke. Overcome with despair, he took his own life. The investigations revealed that his addiction to the game was a primary cause of his mental breakdown. Toyoshi became so immersed in the game that he withdrew completely from the real world. His sense of achievement in the virtual world was the only thing that mattered. The moment he finished the event, his virtual victory felt hollow, and he spiraled into depression. This story made headlines in Japan and sparked a nationwide discussion on the mental health effects of excessive gaming. It raised concerns about the dangerous side effects of long hours of gameplay and how they can drive a person to extreme measures. Toyoshi's story is a painful reminder of the dangers of letting video games consume you entirely. Story 2. The Digital Killer. In the United States, a similar tragedy unfolded in 2015. A young man named Joshua, also in his 20s, was deeply addicted to the game World of Warcraft, an online game with millions of players worldwide. Joshua was more than just an ordinary gamer. The game was his life. He spent hours daily battling other players and building relationships within the virtual world. For him, the game provided an escape from the harshness of reality. One day during an intense gaming session, Joshua was insulted by a teammate in the game. The insult was severe, and Joshua was deeply affected by it. What made matters worse was that the insult came from a long-time gaming friend, someone he trusted in the virtual world. Unable to deal with the humiliation, Joshua decided to take revenge. But his retaliation wasn't limited to the virtual world. He chose to take it to the extreme. Joshua tracked down the player who insulted him and, in a fit of rage, he murdered him in real life. The police investigation revealed that Joshua's actions were heavily influenced by the virtual world of World of Warcraft. He had been so consumed by the game and the relationships within it that he could no longer distinguish between the virtual world and reality. His desire for revenge, fueled by the insults in the game, led him to make the ultimate, irreversible decision. Joshua's story raised serious questions about the impact of online gaming on mental health and the real-world consequences of virtual conflict. Could it be that something as innocent as a game could drive someone to commit murder? The chilling answer is yes. Story 3. The Programmed Mind. Finally, we come to the story of Matthew, an American teenager who was an avid player of the game Call of Duty. This first-person shooter game, known for its strategic planning and combat elements, became Matthew's obsession. For years, he spent nearly every waking hour training himself to be the best, mastering the mechanics and strategies of the game. As time went on, Matthew's immersion in the game began to take a toll on his mental health. He began to mimic the violent behaviors he saw in the game, treating his real-life relationships with aggression and anger. The line between the virtual world and reality began to blur in his mind. Matthew became increasingly violent in his actions and speech, and he started to view the world as a battlefield. He started believing that he was capable of making life-and-death decisions, just like the soldiers in the game. This mindset eventually led to a devastating act. Matthew committed a murder, attempting to recreate an attack he had seen in Call of Duty. The investigation revealed that Matthew's obsession with the game played a major role in shaping his mindset. The game had desensitized him to violence, and his twisted view of the world led him to commit an unimaginable crime. Matthew's tragic story serves as a stark warning about the potential dangers of violent video games and their impact on young minds. Conclusion. These three stories illustrate the extreme consequences that can arise from video game addiction and obsession. From suicide to murder, these real-life tragedies show how the line between the virtual world and reality can sometimes become dangerously thin. The thrill of gaming, when left unchecked, can have disastrous effects on a person's mental and emotional well-being. In this episode, we've explored the dark side of gaming, the side that isn't often talked about. The stories of Toyoshi, Joshua, and Matthew serve as cautionary tales about the dangers of excessive gaming and the psychological toll it can take. While video games can be an enjoyable pastime, they can also have a profound impact on a person's mental state, especially when addiction takes hold. The next time you pick up a controller, remember these stories and think twice about the fine line between entertainment and obsession. End of episode 1.